Yo, what's up, it's SNT and you're watching The Bike Show. This is the weekly series where we check out some of your amazing bike builds that you have submitted to the email address that's down in the description and on the screen right now. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the squad on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're just a few away, so if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be highly appreciated. But now, sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and at the end, let me know in the comment section down below which bike was your favorite. But now, let's start the show. First up today, we have a crazy Yamaha DT 50 from Finland. So this was his daily driver for 2 years, but then he wanted to do something fun with it. So he bought a Yamaha YC85cc dirt bike engine and swapped it into his moped. And some of the things that are done to this bike includes a Yamaha YC85cc dirt bike engine swap with a FMF Gold Series fatty exhaust, V-Force free reed valve, keen 28mm PWK carburetor, double KTM SX85cc radiators, Stage 6 double layer air filter, and then it also has a few styling parts, for example a new black plastics kit, 2016 Yamaha YC number plate, a 2006 Honda CR front fender, powder coated the frame, swing arm, subframe, clutch cover, OEM KTM fat bar with a Stage 6 bar pad. He also removed the passenger pegs to give it a more sporty look, which I like a lot. It's a really cool and badass build. Even though it's a black bike, I still think it looks really good. I think the polished wheels and chrome exhaust does a great job complementing the gloss black plastics kit you have on here. It looks really good and adds to that raw race look that this bike has. He said in the email that he might be getting a graphics kit and a few other parts for this bike, which will be really cool to see. So if you do that, feel free to send it back into the show. But still, as it sits right now, it looks really good with that clean FMF exhaust, the gloss black plastics and the polished wheels. It just works so well together. And I also like the fact that you got the new YC number plate instead of the old one. I think the old one is getting a little bit overdone. It still looks really good, but the new one looks so much better. And this bike looks so cool. I like this bike a lot. Thank you so much for sending this bike into the show. Now we have a 2018 Derbi DRD limited edition from Holland. He rode the bike stock for a while, but then he got bored of it and decided he wanted to do a high-end engine build, which he did, and the engine includes a Stage 6 77cc aluminium cylinder, MVT Digital Direct inner rotor ignition, Polini 28mm PWK carburetor, Top Performance intake manifold, Malossi VL17 reed valve, Voca 5-disc racing clutch, and a Voca 7080 underbody exhaust. And just this engine build itself took this bike to the next level. I really like how that orange MVT ignition complements the red and black look you have on the bike, and also the fitment of the MVT exhaust, how it goes perfectly alongside the frame, looks so good and definitely works perfectly on this bike. And then he added a few more details to the bike to give it more personality. For example, he got a number plate with some custom decals on there to match the rest of the bike, and he also got some Voca rim decals, which looks so good. And these two changes made a huge difference on the bike and made it more raw but still well put together and looks really good. So he did a great job with this bike. I don't really have much more to say than this is a beautiful bike, and I assume it's a lot of fun to ride as well. Thank you so much for sending it in to the show. Next up, we have a 2006 Derbi Senda build from Sweden. He bought the bike in really boring condition, so he tore it down and rebuilt it from the ground up, putting his own touch on it. And some of the things that are on this bike right now includes a Airshow 50cc racing T6 cylinder, Polini 19mm carburetor, Technigas Inox exhaust, unrestricted CDI, Stage 6 quick action throttle, KTM EXC headlight, Derbi Senda DRD racing plastics, and a custom fluo yellow and black graphics kit to really tie the bike together. And can we just take a moment to appreciate the transformation? Like, this bike has gone through an insane transformation, and the fact that you went for some DRD plastics was a great idea. It's probably the most beautiful Derbi plastics there are out there. I think they look so cool, and having it on this bike with this graphics kit looks so good, and you did a great job picking out the graphics kit and plastics, and I think it looks so good. I think you did a great job making this bike stand out. It definitely does not look like an ordinary Derbi. With the DRD plastics, the KTM headlight, and the black and fluo yellow graphics kit looks so good, and it fits this bike perfectly. I'm not too sure how I feel about the yellow frame. I think you could have done a better job picking a color there. but at the same time it doesn't look bad. It kind of fits the bike and it makes it stand out even more, but I think it would look a lot cleaner if you had a black frame on there. But at the same time it doesn't look bad and it kind of fits the bike at the same time. So yeah, it's definitely a personal preference, I think. And if you like it, that's perfect, good for you, because it still looks really cool with the yellow frame and the Fluo yellow graphics kit. There's not really much more to say than thank you so much for sending it in to the SNT bike show. Now we have a 2004 Yamaha DT50 from Sweden. It started out as a normal black Yamaha DT50, but then he wanted to put his own touch on it. So some of the things that are done to this bike includes a Yamaha YC number plate, Airshell 50cc racing cylinder, Technigas Inox exhaust, Voca fat bar, easy pull clutch lever, painted a few details purple, polished rims with purple spoke skins, smoked the taillight and smoked the indicators, and then he painted the plastics purple. I'm not 100% sure what he did to achieve the look on the plastics, but I think it looks really cool. I've seen this a lot in Finland with people like sanding down the plastics. I think that's how you do it. I think you sand it down to give it a raw look but still have some paint and still make it unique and stuff. I think it's really cool and definitely fits a lot of bikes like this where you're going for a more raw race look, and it definitely fits the bike and it looks really cool and definitely makes it unique. So I don't really have much more than that to say. Thank you so much for sending it in to the show. Moving on, we have a Yamaha TZR 50 from Norway. This bike had a rough life before he bought it. It was dropped and scratched and all that kind of stuff. It didn't even start when he bought it. So he got some new plastics for the bike and got it painted by a professional painter. And then he also got some 2010 Yamaha TZR 50 graphics on there to give it a newer and more updated look, which was definitely a good option. The windscreen was painted in matte black paint, so he sanded it down, and he's going to get some window tint on there to make it practical while still making it look really good. And a moped like this pretty much needs to have a powerful engine setup, and this bike is no exception. This engine is built with a Airshell 70cc cylinder, Polini racing clutch, Delorto 21mm carburetor, Polini intake manifold, Malossi VL17 reed valve, Yasuni R2 exhaust, and it has a top speed of about 115 kilometers an hour. I must say that this is a really beautiful bike. I really like the dark blue paint and the gold rims. It works so well together and they just complement each other perfectly. You did a great job with this bike. I assume it's really fun to ride as well, so hopefully you have a lot of fun with this bike in the future. Thank you so much for sending it in to the show. But that was the 5 amazing bikes from this week's bike show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, join the squad on the road to 10,000 subscribers and eventually the road to 100,000 by the end of the year. I know it's ambitious, but I think we might be able to do it. So hit that red subscribe button, turn it gray. We post 2 to 3 times per week, so you don't want to miss those videos. You know, I ride a KTM as well, so if you do not want to miss it, subscribe to the channel. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, stay awesome, be positive. It's been SNT, and I'll see you in the next one.